Okay, so this is Dan from Hidden Objects in NASA's Images, and I want to point out that this is from Apollo 17. I got this image from Google Moon. You can Google it. The number is AS17-145-222-16HR. Now this is from Apollo 17 moon landing. As you can see, it looks pretty normal, except for the fact the flag seems to be flapping, and it seems to have some kind of stabilization bars, or maybe they're just hold it so it won't flap. That's pretty obvious, these little things right here inside the flag itself. But it seems to be flapping all by itself. That's an oddity if there's no air on the moon, and I think there is. I think there's an atmosphere on the moon, but NASA's not going to tell anybody. I'll put a link to my website. You all can check that out. But anyway, as you can see, the crosshairs seem to be correct in this portion of the picture, but there are some oddities here. Let's explore these oddities. Maybe you can find them, maybe not. Anyway, I'll help you out. Here they are right here. This looks to be some kind of a pipe, or this right here, it seems to be going in the ground, and it seems to be covered, and it's just hanging out with this little thing here, or maybe that's part of the ground. But it looks odd right here. This coloration, it's not a rock, it's something to do with the landing. Maybe they left something, maybe they forgot to remove it. Anyway, you can see footprints here. This little guy, I don't know what that is. So let's zoom in on it. It's distorted, so I can't really tell what this is. This looks like a piece of wire or piping or some kind of, maybe it's to put air, because maybe it's in the studio and not real, and they've got halfway covered. So maybe it blows air. I just don't know, but it don't look right. Moon doesn't have stuff like this, and there's no instruments in this picture. There's no instruments nearby. Maybe it's part of a weather instrument or some kind of seismic instrument, but there's nothing around this picture. As you can see, from side to side, there's no indication of anything. No instruments. Anyway, here's another one. This looks like a spray can. That looks like a spray can. You know how you I hate to say it, airbrush, but it looks like a can with a tube coming out of it. Let's take a look at it. It just looks like a can. It's got the rim of a can, or maybe some kind of tool they dropped. But it's got red to it, so it doesn't look right in this picture at all. This picture is wrong. I'm usually doing Mars pictures, and this is, I think, the second video I've done on images from the moon. Here's another little object. I'm not sure what that is. It could be a band-aid, it could be anything, a piece of paper. It does not look right. Remember, the astronauts, if they are in full uniform in their spacesuit, there should be nothing that comes off the suit. So maybe it's a piece of paper, maybe it's something else. I don't want to zoom too much because it'll distort the image, but it seems to be something bright, and apparently the moon doesn't have anything bright on it. It's all gray and dark gray material. So this is an oddity unto itself. So I just wanted to point these couple of oddities. Maybe it helps the conspiracy theorist maybe realize that, this doesn't look right, and that doesn't look right, and that don't look right, and this doesn't either. And the fact that the flag seems to be flapping and there's nobody near it. Like I said, they probably put these in here to brace it in case there is airflow into the studio. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't look right, but apparently they got some kind of, webbing or some kind of tubing inside the flag itself. You can see the outline of it. It just doesn't look right. This whole picture just stinks. And I remember I was about 6 years. I was born in '63, so I barely remember the moon landings on television. I was only 6 years old. So, yeah, I don't know. And here's another little oddity right here. I'm not sure what that is. It doesn't look like a moon rock or anything to do with the moon itself. But as you look at this picture, it's pretty good size. And it's very good quality as far as to, you know, there's something wrong with this picture. You can't see any stars in the background. It just looks too made up, if you know what I mean. It's hard to explain. And what is this? I just noticed that myself. This little guy, who is he? And what is it? There's nothing that should be standing or taller than dirt. But this seems to be tall. Maybe they forgot to airbrush something. I'm not sure what that is. You can see there's rocks. It's a little odd. Pictures don't mesh up. I mean, there's no craters. You know, that's what's missing in this picture. There's no craters. I mean, if you look at the moon, it's covered with craters, and yet you see nothing of that in this picture whatsoever. There's no craters whatsoever in this picture. It's just odd, you know. Looks like something's falling or coming down the mountain. There's a little trail here. Could be something like a rock falling from the hillside, but I don't know. Lots of mysteries in this photograph, and this is just one photograph, by the way. I haven't got to the rest of them I downloaded. But you can check all these photographs at Google Moon. And I want to thank everybody for watching my video, Hidden Objects on the Moon, from Hidden Objects in NASA's Images. Thank you very much.